Celebrities, in a moment, you'll be stripping down to your swimwear and getting into one of these holes.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most disastrous British reality TV shows and game shows. We're looking at both shows that were unpopular with viewers and shows which, while being watched by many, failed the people who were on them.
I've been told I look like Ryan Gosling, but I try not to let it go to my head.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Golden Balls.
Your total cash is now 3,860. Your highest possible win is 5,660.
This was a show about mind games and manipulation, as contestants hoped they struck gold, literally, and got a high-value ball, while also strategically voting out their competitors.
It's 1,800.
Has to be binned, Mark, sorry.
Oh well.
At the end, they were given the choice to split or steal the prize. If they both stole, they went home with nothing. If they both split, they'd each get an equal share. But if one stole and one split, the stealer would walk away with the cash.
Okay.
Despite this gripping finale, people got sick of its complicated rules and the fact that the victors were often the most ruthless and uncooperative players. No wonder it only lasted for a few years.
These are things that you have to remember when you go into the second round.
Number 9. Changing Rooms.
It was to house a very beautiful collection of antique teapots.
Of course, Changing Rooms has always been hugely popular, but it's not popular because anybody actually wants interior design tips from it. No, it's popular because we're all waiting for the moment when everything goes wrong. Despite the participants being paired up with legendary designers, including Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, they themselves have no experience and do whatever they like.
Only seconds after finishing in Linda's room, disaster struck. The added weight of all those books proved too much for the freestanding shelves.
Many a home has been ruined after it appeared on Changing Rooms, with preposterous paints and woeful wallpapers in abundance.
That is all our teapots. Oh no. That is all our teapots. Oh no.
And who can forget the biggest failure of all, when one woman's priceless teapot collection was destroyed by Linda Barker and a rogue shelving unit. Number 8. Murder Island.
Grandfather was a detective, my dad was a detective, so genetics would suggest that it was in my blood.
This bizarre experimental show appeared on Channel 4 in 2021. A group of armchair detectives were enlisted to travel to a remote island to solve a dastardly murder devised by Ian Rankin. They had top coppers to help them out and a huge cast of paid actors to interview.
Oh, she's got a whole load of pamphlets.
Yeah.
But it turns out that arguing with people about true crime on Facebook is no replacement for actual investigative training. They were all atrocious at it. They were rude to the witnesses, asked all the wrong questions, contaminated crime scenes, and couldn't find key pieces of evidence.
You were taking photographs while standing in the blood at the entrance to the bedroom. You then introduced footprints onto the rug in the bedroom.
With 50 grand at stake, you'd think they'd have performed a bit better. But alas, these sleuths couldn't investigate their way out of a paper bag.
Had you all done your jobs properly at the crime scene, you would have discovered this diary.
Number 7. The Jump.
The actress against the gymnast. And here's Louisa Lytton, formerly of EastEnders and The Bill.
Making I'm a Celebrity look like a cakewalk, The Jump has been branded one of the most dangerous TV shows ever made. It very nearly failed before it got off the ground, after being outright rejected by ITV, but eventually Channel 4 made the grave error of picking it up.
Oh, this is a terrible start! Unbelievably slow! Ridiculous!
Throughout its 4 series, the celeb participants suffered a raft of horrendous injuries. In the first series alone, there were injured shoulders and hands and a concussion, with injuries getting increasingly serious.
I suppose she's terrified, but she really does have to look up.
A dislocated elbow, broken ankle, and Olympian Beth Tweddle broke her back and sued the production company.
Beth Tweddle, the most successful British gymnast of all time.
Number 6. Splash.
I think I've been more bruised, more achy and more sore than I imagined. Over Christmas I couldn't actually move my neck, I was like that.
In a similar vein to The Jump was Splash, the Tom Daly-fronted diving show that at least some people must have watched, surely. Clearly somebody thought that Daly had enough star power to carry this show, and he does remain one of the UK's most well-known and popular athletes. But even he couldn't save the celebrity diving competition.
Joe Brand, great as always to see you. What is it going to take to impress you this year?
Courage, confidence, chutzpah.
From its bizarre choices in judges, we love Jo Brand, but surely she wasn't their first pick to judge diving. To the relatively boring loop of watching people badly jump off a diving board over and over, Splash was doomed from the beginning. Plus, they filmed it in Luton. Number 5. Hole in the Wall.
Bring on the wall!
Who doesn't want to see their favourite celebrities try to jump through a wall? Well, everybody apparently, because there were only 21 episodes ever made. Yes, more celebs falling into water, Hole in the Wall was at least a bit more exciting than Splash, though that isn't saying much.
Stay in the middle! Stay in the middle, you've got it! You've got it!
The celebrity teams, led primarily by Joe Swash and Austin Healey, all had to jump through a strangely shaped hole in a foam wall, or else the wall would drag them into the pool behind. But once you've seen a celebrity jump through one hole, you may as well have seen them all, and the exciting bits were always over too quickly to even start enjoying them. Number 4. 5 Guys a Week.
Certain person I can go and sort of just chill out with. You saw what the dog. There's only so much the dog wants to be walked.
Was this a TV show about only eating at overpriced burger chain Five Guys for an entire week? No. It instead followed a woman who invited 5 single men to come and live with her for 7 days, to see which one she clicked with the most.
You just said that 5 seconds ago.
I've kind of arrived at a point that I feel like they're true me again.
Yeah, tell me more. Can I hear it one more time, please?
It was one of those reality shows that touted itself as a social experiment to trick viewers into thinking it had some merit. And no, it wasn't 5 separate weeks. It was 1 week where all 6 of them were living together, all trying to seduce the same woman.
So good looking that I just stopped listening and I was like, just staring.
Imagine going on a date with 5 blokes at once and living together. The mind boggles. Number 3. I Wanna Marry Harry.
Sir is going to arrive by helicopter, and the ladies are going to be gently having afternoon tea on the lawn, and then they're going to see someone who looks very well known step out.
Of course, this show wasn't British, because you would have a much harder time fooling the average Brit into thinking this ordinary bloke is Prince Harry than an American.
Oh my gosh, is that who I think it is? We were definitely thinking, like, who is this guy?
It also failed more spectacularly than most because it was so bad it was cancelled only halfway through its first and only series. It did eventually air completely in the UK thanks to ITV, so we could all bask in how shocking it was that any of them believed this lie too.
This was the first moment in which I got to meet the 12 lovely ladies. I was very nervous, actually.
He didn't even look that much like Prince Harry, and in real life is a natural blonde. Number 2. Rise and Fall.
You will stay and help decide who wins the prize fund.
Channel 4's answer to The Traitors, Rise and Fall, presented by Greg James, just didn't have the same mystique as Claudia Winkleman and her remote Scottish castle. The contestants were split into 2 castes, one rich and one poor, with the poor group having to compete for prize money.
When I walked into that mixer, I thought there's not a hope in hell that I'm going to be able to survive here.
But there was a twist. Depending on how it was played, they could move between the different groups to be in with a chance of winning 100 grand.
He gave so much back to the basement and worked his arse off, and he really, should have been in the penthouse for much longer than he was.
In this way, it was actually less interesting than The Traitors' premise, and Channel 4 announced it was going to be axed after 1 series. Number 1. Freeze the Fear with Wim Hof. While both Holly Willoughby and Lee Mack are a safe pair of hands, with Willoughby presenting This Morning for years and Mack hosting the 1% Club, together they were an odd duo.
You'll be attached to a safety line and there are some specially trained divers under the ice, so if you get trapped, they can drag you to the surface.
But even Lee Mack's sharp wit couldn't save Freeze the Fear and its bizarre concept, as it forced us to watch celebrities be very cold.
He took him out.
You wouldn't believe how cold some of these celebs got, with the likes of Diane Buswell and Gabby Logan sent to the Alps for the duration. But it turns out that watching a handful of people with chattering teeth doesn't actually make for good television, and it was cancelled after one series.
I don't want to do it.
Don't do it.
Very good. I love it.
You're learning.
Yes. Here's a good one.
Let us know in the comments if you think any of these shows should be brought back from the dead.
I think you better go sit down, or we better tidy this up.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.